So the question is this. The question is, how does one balance a spiritual life and a family life? I'm getting onto a little detail about the question, which will give us perspective. In today's world, there are so many problems, right? We have family members, we want spirituality. Then we think our karma and our family's karma is merged. Is the karma independent? If it is independent, how do we deal with family issues? How to have detached attachment? There are many questions that come in the overall perspective of how do you balance the family life and the spiritual. So let me give you my thoughts. It is very normal for a human being to be absorbed in family life. It is very normal, right? So it is you. How are you born? You're born from a mother and father. So can you disrespect your mother and father? How can you disrespect your mother and father? In many religions and cultures, mother and father equals to God. Till today, I have the highest respect for my mother and father. So if you ask me, the ones who are responsible other than God, the ones who are responsible for our birth on earth is mom and dad. We owe a responsibility to them. We owe an obligation. We owe, if we love them, very good. We must love them. But for whatever reason, if there is not such a great connection, we must not forget our gratitude to our mother and father who are responsible for this human birth. Now, God is greater than mother and father because mother and father just were the instruments God used. But in reality, more than a father on earth is a father on heaven. So now we have covered, just to start with, we have covered with the importance of mother and father. Now comes the family we create. Whether we are man or woman, we get married, we get children. But the problem is, we don't realize that while it's perfectly okay to have a marriage, to have children, is that the purpose of our life? Is the purpose of our life just to be born, to learn, to grow up, to get married and to have children, and then ultimately to die? It's common sense, that's not our purpose. There is a bigger purpose, there is a larger purpose. So now comes the tricky question, how to balance? The family is saying, let us go to McD. The clock is saying it's time for Ask Air. How do you balance? The family is saying, छोड़ो ये Ask Air का बकवास ये सब speech बंद करो, पिज्जा खाना है, चलो पिज्जा खाओ. But you want spirituality. How do you balance? Here comes the understanding. Here comes the understanding of our priorities. And when you understand the priorities, the balance is automatic. Let me explain to you. A small thing happened in my life. Somebody told me, come for a movie. I told them no time. Then he's my friend, very close friend from childhood, school friend. Come, let's go for cricket match. I said no time. He said, okay, let's go for dinner. I said no time. Hey, kya hai? I'm asking you, come for movie, no time. Come cricket match, no time. Come for dinner, no time. He got angry and he said, tomorrow if your mother dies, you'll say, I have no time to go to do cremation. I said, hello, stop it. Understand the meaning of priority. We have a priority. If something like this happens, if something happens, something happens to our family member, we'll give up everything. We'll give up everything and we'll go because that's the situation. But I don't have to give up my passion to come to a cricket match or come for dinner or movie. I'm not interested. And don't ask silly questions, but look at the importance that we have to understand. We have to have our priorities clear. Now, take for instance a normal man, right? A normal man. What is his life about? His normal man is just this. How's my wife? How's my child? How's my daughter? School जा रहा है, school नहीं है, online classes है, खाना क्या बन रहा है, घर का मोबाइल टेलीफोन बिल पे किया, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल पे किया, गाड़ी में पेट्रोल है. That's it. There is no time for anything else. If you want to have a life like that, which is just an ordinary life, then you need to be in a full family life. You don't need any spirituality. Spirituality is a quest for a life with meaning and purpose. Spirituality is a life where you ask the question, who am I? Why am I here? What is this family? This family is my family, but what is this family? My dear friends, before I hand over the question answer time to you, today I'm taking a few minutes to answer this major question. We must be clear with our priority. Take my priority. My priority is God. My priority is air must live like a yogi. I want to be a yogi in Sat Chit Anand. Full stop. Nothing else matters. Can everybody do it? No. Cannot do it. No, Motkula Anand has got one wife and one son and one daughter all sitting around him. But at least he's lucky. He's lucky that husband, wife, son, and daughter are watching the program every day. I see Girish and Girish's Amma both sitting and watching the program every day. But it's not possible. It's not possible for every family to do it like that. People are not with the same mindset. People have different mindsets. In a family, man, woman, son, and daughter can be four opposite characters. How do you deal with such a situation? So the challenge is you have to do your dharma, but you don't have to give up the ultimate goal of moksha. You should not compromise. You should not ignore your duties. So here's the answer. You should not ignore your duty, but you must only do your duty. Don't try to spend your entire life doing the duty. If you spend your entire life satisfying your husband, wife, son, daughter, mother, father, and you forget God, your life is a waste. So if I were any of you, I would set my priorities clear. My priority is God. My priority is moksha. My priority is liberation, unification. Nothing in my life will have more importance than God. Nothing in my life will take precedence or will be more important or have more priority than my spiritual time. This does not mean that you ignore all your duties. Remember this. Our job is not just to do karma. Our job is to go beyond karma. How are you going to go beyond karma? For example, there's a lady. She has two children. She said, how can I do spiritual work? My life is just completely sucked into taking care of two children. How can I take care of these two boys? I have two children. Two boys are enough to completely fill my life. My question to that lady was, okay, you spend your entire life taking care of these two boys. Then what? Then what? After some time, after the two boys grow up, after some time, then what? They will leave you and they will move on. Then what happens to your life? We human beings must understand that family members, they have their own karma. They may not be at the same level of evolution like you. You cannot force your family members to follow spirituality. So you have to be able to what we call detached attachment. When there's detached attachment, you don't tell them, I don't care for you, I care for God, I don't care for you. No, don't say that. That will bust the whole thing. But deep in your heart and in your soul, you should know my priority is God. My priority is not my family, because my family are just manifestations. They are all appearances of God. So my dear friends, you can ask me more questions on this because you may want to have more clarity. But the point is this. Every individual has a different situation in their family. But the priority is the same. You may be Hitkari or Sudeep or Surinder or Krishna Sharma, anybody. The goal is one. The goal is ultimately liberation. The goal is unification. What would it gain a man if he gained the whole world but lost his own soul? This is what Jesus said. क्या मिलेगा? पूरी दुनिया मिल गए, क्या मिलेगा? So even we must realize one thing. Let us not have too many expectations from family members, because we have learned that even family members have their own priorities. You know, we have Anath Ashram. I don't know, I'm closing with this point. In Bangalore, we have 3 Anath Ashrams. The Air Institute of Realization takes care of 600 people. Who are these 600 people? Somebody's mother, somebody's father who was thrown on the street, somebody's child. I have picked up children who are mentally and physically challenged. Mother and father just threw them in the road and I picked them up. And I have taken care of those children for over 25 years. And they have become big boys now, big men. So let us accept the reality of life. So to end the question, how do you balance family life and spiritual life? Remember this, do your dharma. Don't forget moksha. Don't forget the ultimate goal is to realize you're the soul. Spiritual life is the purpose, is the reason for our existence. Family life is just something that we have to manage and we have to be with. But family life will not take you to your ultimate goal. Unless the entire family is growing spiritually, that is the grace of God. So I hope I have touched the essence of the subject. Hitkari ji, if there are any more questions, please ask me. I've given you a broader perspective. That for me, when I ask my guru, my father is telling me to do something which I don't agree. He said, of course, you must follow your father. I said, what? I don't agree. Are you telling me I should follow my father? He said, you didn't listen to me carefully. I said, of course, you must follow your father who is in heaven. You must listen to your father who is in earth, but you must follow your father in heaven. So let us, thank you. Let us ask questions today. Who's the first person? Gautam. Question from Gautam.
शिवम
Shivam, bolo Gautam.
बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया है. I feel so happy after listening this thing because I face a family problem also and my target is moksha.
Okay.
And
So
today my question is after we die, mind and the ego carries the karma which reborn again.
Yes.
So you told that कर्मा सेटल करने के लिए वो वापस जन्म लेता है. तो वो कर्मा अगर वो पूरा सेटल हो गया तो वो एनलाइटेंड हो जाएगा क्या? वो
करेक्ट हो जाएगा. अगर कर्मा सेटल हो गया तो हो जाएगा. बट कर्मा विल नॉट बी सेटल्ड ना. Karma cannot be settled. Because death will happen suddenly. Suppose I die now. How my karma of today will be settled?
Okay.
The only way to settle karma is, you know the answer?
To realize the truth.
Correct. Thank you, Gautam. Next question. Harsh question, please.
Shivam sir,
Shivoham,
my question is how to control subconscious mind.
how to?
Control subconscious mind.
Control subconscious mind.
Control subconscious mind.
Yes.
You cannot control the subconscious mind, but you can control the mind.
Okay.
You can control the mind, and the mind, first of all, you must understand there is no conscious mind and subconscious mind.
But vice versa is right now. Subconscious mind can control us. Yes.
Subconscious mind is always, mind is only, the mind controls you, not only the subconscious mind. So wait, just go one step back, Harsh. There is no mind and conscious mind and subconscious mind. There is only one mind. Are you clear about that point? The mind becomes subconscious and the mind becomes unconscious and the mind is conscious. So are you clear? It's only one mind.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you sleep, it becomes a subconscious. And the problem is we cannot control the mind completely. We can only transcend the mind. We can use the intellect to discriminate thought. But as such, you cannot control the mind. You can tame the mind. You can tame the monkey. You can control certain thoughts. You can eliminate negative thinking. But as such, you cannot control the mind because where is the mind you cannot find.
Okay, great. So you are saying that they are all states of mind, different
Correct.
states of mind, right?
States of consciousness.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Got it.
Next question.
Sachin.
Sachin. Typed out.
Shivam, sir.
Shivoham.
Sir, I have typed my question.
Yes, I'm reading your question.
Sir, I have
Sachin.
typed my question.
Yes, I'm reading. If a person, suppose he does some bad thing to a person, why is the X being used as instrument of God or has been made to settle a karmic account with Y? Okay. Suppose he does some bad thing to a person. So I understand somebody does a bad thing to somebody. Why is that person being used as an instrument of God? No, he's not being used as an instrument of God. Stop. Let's go one step back, Sachin. Every person doing a bad thing is not being forced by God to do a bad thing. Please don't believe that God is making us an instrument to be a criminal. No, never, 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 never. We are choosing our own karma, and as we are choosing our own karma, it is programmed in such a way that it becomes redemption of somebody else's karma.
Okay,
So this whole drama of karma is beyond man's understanding. Because in reality, it's all Maya. It's all a projection. It's not real.
yes.
You know, sometimes, Sachin, we need to sometimes stop and we need to look in this nature. And you must be amazed with the millions of trees and the millions of leaves and fruits. And then I don't know how many million clouds in the sky and how many million birds and how many million mosquitoes and how many billion people. How does this whole thing work? So we have to understand it is beyond human comprehension. But principles we should understand. So now, Sachin, I'm asking you a question. Do you have a free will or is God forcing you to do something?
No, I have free will.
Then why should you believe God is forcing anybody to do anything? Let us, in enlightenment, let us use our personal example. Let us use our personal life experience to realize the truth. Let us not listen to some scripture and some religion and some swamis and read some philosophers and blindly follow them. Let's not do it. Not even me. You need to use your own intelligence to question and accept.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sachin. Sudeep Bhargava.
Shivam sir.
Shivam, Sudeep.
So just to continue with the topic that you started with the responsibilities, I believe, I mean, I could be wrong, but the responsibilities of a person can be drawn from the four stages of his life. The first one is brahmachari, then grihast, then vanaprastha, and then the sannyas. So at which stage I am, I think my responsibilities will get fixed up with that stage also. You can correct me wherever I go wrong.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
my point here is practically that has been my experience, that maybe moving directly from grihas to vanaprastha at the snap of a finger may not be possible. If we go by that 100 years lifespan, so 0 to 25 is brahmachari, 25 to 50 grihas, and then 50 to 75 is vanaprastha. At age of 50 or any age for that matter, I cannot just make a snap of a finger and switch over to vanaprastha and start preparing for sannyas. So do you think it will be a better idea that even while the grihas, I've just started with my grihas, but I should start preparing for the vanaprastha on the day number 1 itself, so that by the
You should
time I
start
turn
preparing.
50,
Yeah, you should start preparing when you're a teenager only, no?
okay,
should start
even
learning.
brahmachari could be a good time, but yeah, definitely.
No, it's just like telling, I was driving from Bangalore to Bombay, and when I reached, before I reached Bombay, my petrol tank got empty. No, what do you mean your petrol tank got empty? Damn it, you have a petrol, you have a fuel tank in your car, and you
Right.
know that the petrol, how many every 150 kilometers the petrol bunk is there. You reach before Bombay, you say my car got no fuel. That shows you did not understand the game of driving, or you didn't plan properly. But I'm just giving an analogy. So what's the analogy? First of all, nobody is asking you to snap from grihastha to vanaprastha. The process is known to you even before you start your grihastha.
Sun bola nahi. Sun.
The moment you are in your learning stage of life, Sudeep, you already understand the purpose of learning is not just to earn. The purpose of brahmacharya is not just to be grihastha, right? In the learning stage itself, we should learn what should we teach our children. That's why that's the whole problem. Today, what are we teaching our children? We are teaching our children become a big shot, build a big business, earn money, build a good name, become a world champion. What is this? And then die. What are we trying to teach our children? So, Sudeep, few things first of all. There is no sudden snapping from grihastha to vanaprastha. Second point, do you know many people from student life straight away they become sannyasi? You know Adi Shankara, you know Ramana Maharishi, you know many people. Now, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is called samsar. We get caught in family life. The moment we get caught in family life, we are caught. Some girls come and ask me, do you suggest I should get married? I said, up to you, get married. No, what do you suggest? I tell them, you know, what is the meaning of what's the goal of life? They said, mukti, moksha. I said, what's the meaning? They said, it's freedom. Mukti means freedom. I said, you are telling me the goal is freedom, mukti, and you are getting into bandhan. Why are you getting into bandhan? Why are you getting into marriage? No, because my mother and father want me to get married. Your mother and father want to get married. So I ask the question, why does your mother and father want you to get married? Because they want to finish their responsibility. Look at the joke. Look at the joke in today's world. Mother and father want to get the child married because hamara kaam ho gaya. My job is over. They tell the daughter, when you get married, don't ever turn back. If you want to come back, you go and die. Don't come back to our house. This is what parents tell the child. No, but it's very sad. It's very sad. A woman gets into a marriage and then she suffers because she can't reverse. She gets 2 children, and if she has 2 children, she can't reverse that because she starts believing that's my children. That came from her womb, from her stomach. Oh, this is my child, my child, my child. So, Sudeep, that's why it is a fortune for a person, it is a good destiny for a person to be free. And that's why today's topic we spoke about getting out of a family life is very difficult. Because if you have a nagging wife, for example, who's not letting you to be spiritual, oh, you're in a tough situation because she will nag you to death.
So, but okay, please.
How do you deal with it?
So that's my point. That might be a story that Shankaracharya ji once had a very big debate with somebody in Indore or close to Narmada River. I'm not able to recollect that story right now, but one of the questions that those couple asked Shankaracharya was that how can you achieve moksha without getting into the Grihastha ashram, because you do not know what needs to be done in the Grihast. That's my point of view, that if I was given a choice to follow Shankaraji's life story or maybe your life story, I will prefer yours, because that's more difficult one to do.
Okay. So right now you don't have a choice to follow his or mine.
I don't have a choice now. Now I'm already
because you
following
already are yours. You have to be Sudip Bhargava. You cannot say I want to be Ajitek Dadda. You cannot be. So you
No,
have
I'm
to-
just
I'm just joking. You have to be whom you are, where you are, but the goal doesn't change. The
Sure.
goal is moksha. So please
True.
concentrate on that. And if you are in a family situation, don't let the illusion of the family situation defeat your ultimate purpose of life. The
Okay.
ultimate purpose of life is not family. The ultimate purpose of life
that's
is
sure.
moksha. Even though we
Sure.
have our duty and we must fulfill our duty, I'm not saying don't do your duty, but don't forget the ultimate purpose of life. Thank you. Next question. Das. Das has got a question which is here. More than family, concentrate on my own divine moksha journey. Then is this a selfish thing or not? Of course it is selfish, and we must be selfish. Of course it is selfish, and we must be selfish, because in this selfishness of spirituality, we realize we are nothing. In this selfishness, so-called spirituality, we realize we are nothing. We realize God is in everything. We realize every individual is a manifestation of God. But our family doesn't understand this. And if we follow our family and we forget our enlightenment and realization, then we are caught in the chakra of samsara, and we are caught in this chakra of karma, and we will come back again and again and again. Therefore, if you want enlightenment, you must be selfish. In terms of seeking enlightenment, which is an individual subject. You did not find Shankaracharya becoming enlightened along with mother, father, brother, sister, did you? You know the story of Buddha? Buddha had to leave his father, his mother, his wife, his child, and go to the forest to get enlightenment. But once he got enlightenment, he helped his whole family. So let us not lose focus on our ultimate goal. Thus, our ultimate goal, it's not being selfish. This is our purpose of life. The mind is tricking us by telling we are selfish. There's no selfishness. Every individual who aims to attain the goal of moksha is the most intelligent, advanced, blessed individual. Thank you. Next question. Navjot.
Sir, is karma the only deciding factor for rebirth, or are there other factors?
Karma is the only factor for rebirth. What is the other factor that you have in mind? Maybe I'm missing a point. Are you having any other factor in mind?
No, sir.
So, Suno, the point is, as long as there is karma, now along with karma, there are many things, right? It is your ignorance, it is your vasanas, it is your samskaras, it is all those things put together. But ultimately, if you drop karma, if you realize the truth, I am not Navjot, I am a divine soul who is living as Navjot. If only you realize this, you drop the karma, there is no rebirth. You are immediately free from the cycle of death and rebirth.
And after being free, is there a chance to fall back?
Fall back?
Yes.
No, because you have become one with God.
Okay.
There's no coming back. Unless you want to come back, then you are one with God, then it's between you and God. If you want to come back, you can come back. Because you are as God, you can do anything you like.
Okay.
Thank you. Ajitek.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, is it?
Sir, one thing, how you pronounce my name?
Ajitek, no?
Full name?
Ajitek Dadda.
It's Dadda.
Dadda.
How you pronounce the Chadda, na? You have heard
Chadda.
her name Chadda. Cut the C and put the D.
Dadda.
Dadda. Dadda.
Ajitek Dadda.
Dadda. Dadda.
Dadda.
Duh.
Dhadda.
Dhadda.
Okay, sorry, I'll try to pronounce it.
No problem. बस
बोलो जी.
हाँ जी सर.
Thank
Sir,
you for
अभी
the
आप-
clarity. I like your clarity in explanation. I should learn from you. Okay, question
सर
पूछिए.
सबको बताना पड़ता है. It's normal for me. हाँ
Question.
जी. सर आपने बताया कि फैमिली मेंबर्स अभी आप जो पूरा स्पीच दिया आपने, फैमिली मेंबर्स भी तो सर गॉड हैं.
बिल्कुल.
सभी गॉड हैं.
बिल्कुल.
फिर वो भगवान का साकार रूप है. साकार रूप है. अगर हम उनसे भी प्यार कर रहे हैं तो वो गलत क्या है? मतलब आप ये कह रहे हैं कि निराकार रूप से प्यार करना है.
किसने बोला उनको प्यार मत करना?
मतलब आप कह रहे हैं कि ज्यादा इंक्लिनेशन नहीं होनी चाहिए.
नहीं नहीं नहीं. Please, that's why you have to understand very clearly. उनको अगर हम प्रभु समझेंगे तो कैसे प्यार नहीं करेंगे? लेकिन अजितेक, अगर हमारे कोई भी माँ बाप बीवी बच्चे जो भी हो, अगर वो हमें रॉन्ग तरफ पुल कर रहे हैं, if they are dragging us in the wrong direction, should we go in the wrong direction?
No.
That is suppose your mother is telling you ये बकवास स्पिरिचुअलिटी बंद करो. नहीं, बस हो गया. नहीं तो मैं तुम्हारे को पैसा नहीं दूंगी, मैं तुम्हारे खाना नहीं बनाऊंगी. तो क्या करेगा? बंद करेगा.
सर मेरे संस्कार ऐसे हैं कि मैं इसी तरफ ही आगे बढ़ा.
हाँ, तो I am only saying that don't give up the path of spirituality or family, but continue loving. अरे सुनो अजितेक, the moment you realize हर इंसान में भगवान है, हम अपने फैमिली को कैसे नहीं प्यार करेंगे यार? हर इंसान में भगवान है ना. हम कुत्ते को भी प्यार करेंगे, हम दुश्मन को भी प्यार करेंगे. हमें कोई दुश्मन है ही नहीं. Getting? Am I coming across clearly or no?
Yeah, sir. You come.
So don't misunderstand. I am only saying the family life should not hinder our spiritual progress. I can give you 100 examples, 1,000 examples. You know the story of Adi Shankara? Hitkari story suniye. Very important story. Adi Shankara was 8 years old. He wanted to be brahmachari. And Adi Shankara's mother told him, तुम्हारे को मार दूंगी. Adi Shankara's mother told him, मैं तुम्हारा को मार दूंगी साला. तुम ब्रह्मचारी बनना चाहता है मेरे मरने के बाद. तो Adi Shankara क्या करे? Adi Shankara's mother told you, if you become brahmachari, I will kill myself. So Adi Shankara had respect for mother. He was 8 years old. One day Adi Shankara was swimming in the river. As he was swimming in the river, a crocodile caught his leg. Real story. A crocodile caught his leg and he told, Amma, mar raha hu. The mother saw the crocodile has caught his leg. She said, Oh Prabhu, ye kya hua? Adi Shankara told mother, Mama, जीते जी मैं ब्रह्मचर्य नहीं बना. At least मरने से पहले मुझे ब्रह्मचर्य का permission दो. The mother said, तथास्तु, तुम ब्रह्मचारी बनो. The moment the mother said, तुम ब्रह्मचारी बनो, वो crocodile ने उसको छोड़ दिया. क्रोकोडाइल उसे छोड़ दिया. बोला मम्मी को तुम्हें ब्रह्मचारी का परमिशन दिया. जाके वो सन्यास ले लिया. सन्यासी का परमिशन मिल गया, सन्यासी बन गया. दिस इज द स्टोरी ऑफ आदि शंकरा's life. So we should not be controlled by family. We should move forward on the path. We have one more question, I think. Last
Thank you,
question.
sir.
Thank you. Rajkumar Mohana, last question for today.
Hello, Shivam, sir.
Shivam, Rajkumar.
Actually, I had two questions, but now time is the limit, perhaps. So I will be asking one question today, and rest I'll leave it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how to eliminate negative thinking?
If you ask me negative thinking on a normal way, you have to flip from NEP to PEP. NEP is negative energy poison. PEP is positive energy power. In our life, a negative thinking comes from the mind. The mind is a factory. It is producing thoughts. So suppose you have a bottle factory, if you give glass, it will produce glass bottle. If you give plastic, it will produce plastic bottle. I'm just giving an analogy, okay?
Yes.
The mind will produce positive thoughts if you feed positive raw material. The mind will produce negative thought if you feed negative raw material. What are these raw materials? They are called emotions. Emotion is nothing but energy in motion. Suppose your life is full of negative thought, like hate, fear, worry, anger, revenge, jealousy, pessimism, anger, then what type of thought will come? You will have those type of thoughts, right? But suppose you remove these thoughts and you choose love, faith, hope, trust, compassion, forgiveness, courage, confidence, optimism, then what type of thoughts will come? Positive. So flip over. Please read the book. I'll send you a soft copy if you like. Flip over from NEP to PEP. When you flip over from NEP to PEP, you change the raw material going into your life. My dear friends, I'm sorry I've kept you all waiting too long, but today's question, thank you to Hitkari ji for inspiring the session today. It was his inspiration, but I hope this has helped you. Family is important, my dear friends. Don't think family is not important, but family should not become a reason for our losing our spiritual evolution. No way. Our priority is moksha. I bow down to you and I thank you.